In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with the LifterLMS drip content feature. Lots of people come to online courses from the membership site community and they're familiar with a concept known as drip content, where, for example, you could access lesson 1 immediately, lesson 2 would be available the next day, lesson 3 would be available the following day. A lot of times drip content is used to help protect the learner's focus and to make sure that people complete one lesson at a time before they move on to the next one. So it helps kind of maintain and protect that focus. So how does drip content work in LifterLMS? Well, the first thing you do is I'm going to go into the back end of this health and fitness course here. And I'm just going to add a new user to this course that's in my users. My WordPress users. This is bob at gmail.com. And I'm going to enroll Bob manually as opposed to going through the checkout process. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on over to these 3 lessons. So you can see this is lesson 1 here. And you can see down here in the drip settings that there is none because I want lesson 1 available immediately. But when I go over to lesson 2, you can see here where I've selected in the drip settings that I want lesson 2 available 1 day after enrollment in the course, which you saw I just enrolled Bob just now. So that should mean that tomorrow Bob would have access to this course. And one of the cool things about LifterLMS drip content is you can have kind of different types of drip. You can make a lesson available on a specific date, available on the number of days after the enrollment, or available the number of days after a course start date. Now, the reason we have both of these is that somebody may enroll in a course, you may offer it for sale, but it doesn't actually start until a month later. In that case, you wouldn't want the drip to start on enrollment, rather you would want it to start on the actual course start date. But for this example, we're going to use the available number of days after enrollment in the course. And if we take a quick look at lesson 3 here, you can see in the drip settings that this particular lesson is available in 2 days. So let's go on over to a non-logged in screen here. And I'm just going to log in as Bob. And you can see here I am at 0% progress on my health and fitness course. Now, if Bob had have purchased the course, as soon as he had successfully purchased, he would have been redirected to this screen. So I'm going to click View Course, and I can see the syllabus here and my course information. And I'm going to go ahead and jump on into lesson 1. And this is lesson 1, and you can see that I'm here. I've got a video here. This particular lesson is using the LifterLMS Gravity Forms add-on, so we're collecting an assignment with a free key text area or paragraph text, and also we're asking the learner to upload a photo of themselves doing the workout, and then I would click Submit to complete that lesson. But if I were to go on over to lesson 2, which I'm not supposed to be able to see for another day, let's see what happens. I click on lesson 2, and it boots me back out to the course level, and it says, the lesson 2 will not be available or will be available on January 11th, 2017 at exactly this time. So I can go back to lesson 1, but I can't get into lesson 2. And if I try to go to lesson 3, you can see here where this is 2 days out. This is 2 days away at 5:41 p.m. Then I can access the lesson 2 lesson. So I guess you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to go back to lesson 1, make sure I actually watch the video and do the assignment. And that's what LifterLMS drip content is all about. And we did get a question about previewing lessons that are in a drip system. So in order to preview, I recommend testing like you just saw me do in an incognito window. And if you are testing a lesson that has a that isn't available right away, you can still use the WordPress preview and see what see the content of that lesson Even though it's to the public, it's not available yet, but you as the WordPress administrator, you can still see that lesson. So that's a quick tour of the LifterLMS drip content feature.